This is the first tutorial by me, Cameron Cintron, and today I'll be showing you how to do in-app purchasing within the Unity 5.3 update. To start off, I have a brand new blank project just to show you how to get the stuff brought in. So, what you'll want to do is first, after you have your blank project or any already existing project, you'll want to go to Window, and then you'll scroll down to Services. And I have two monitors, so I'll bring it over here. There we go. And you'll get this nice little Services uh, box window. And what you'll want to do then is after you've logged in, you'll get a list of your user ID and you'll select that. Or if you're doing a project for a client, you'll have to ask them for their stuff. Um, and then you'll just go to create, and voila, your project will be linked to Unity services such as ads, the analytics cloud, and ad purchasing, and then multiplayer. The next part we'll want to do is we'll want to just click in-app purchasing, and then you'll want to click enable. You'll be asked whether or not this is a game for above or below children of 13. For testing purposes or tutorial purposes, I'm just gonna select that just because there's no different outcome um, within the window. If you were to choose the other, you'd still see the same things, is what I'm saying. Now we're all set, and we'll have to click import, and there we go. Oh, what is that? I think we'll be fine. But there we go. So now we have the in-app purchasing brought in. And now I'm going to pause the video. I've opened up a project that I'm already working on because I already have the plugin stuff brought in. So it'll be easier for me to show you how to do things. Uh, so now what we need to do is we need to make new products at the Google Play Store. To get to the Google Play Store, um, you will just go to Google, or the developer console, I should say. Google Play Developer Console, and you can just click the first one. Uh, if you have never done this before, then what you might see is you'll see this window uh, asking you to agree to their terms as well as pay the registration fee, which is just a $25 fee. Um, and then once you do that, you'll be able to access the store, which is this, or the developer console. Um, what you'll do then is you'll add a new application and enter the title. Uh, if you already have your project done, and then you can just click that to upload your APK, or you can just go ahead and do other stuff without having to upload the APK. Um, but for now, I already have one made, so go ahead and do that. And pause the video now if you have yet to make it. Otherwise, let's see. So a lot of this is just filler. You can go ahead and ignore that, but we'll go to the in-app production or products and golden handle. So this is what the stuff looks like. I can't remember. It might not let you get here yet, but if it doesn't, it might be because you need to upload an APK, which is odd, but nevertheless, just quickly export an APK and then upload it. Via here, you can just click upload APK. So back to in-app products. So what we'll do is we'll add a new product, and can just call that whatever you'd like. A subscription, what that means is, as it says, it's going to constantly, every month, uh, automatically bill your customer or your player. And a managed product is a one-time or multiple instant time consumable purchase. Uh, you can change how that functions within the code itself. There are two types of managed products. There's a consumable and a non-consumable. Um, a consumable is a purchase that you can buy over and over again. So games that you want to, you need 500 gems to buy that really cool level or something or gun, then you can keep buying 500 gems. But if it's a, let's say, it's a purchase that unlocks the rest of the game, then that would be a non-consumable because you'll forever have your uh, your purchase. What you'll need to remember is the name of the product, which would be the ID right here, and that's important because of how we call the product in the code. Okay, so now we need one more thing, and that is you'll go to here, and I believe we need this. I don't know if it's necessary or not, but there is an option to have that, so you might as well grab it. So after you've grabbed this, now we're gonna go into our back to Unity, and here's our services window. What you can do now is you can go to dashboard, and in the web browser, what that'll do is that'll bring you to where it's located. Unity might ask you to make an account. You'll already have a Unity account, but it'll ask you to make a analytics account stuff. You can just go to ads. See, there we go. Oops, there we go. All right, so your project should automatically appear if you've linked it, and I'll just go ahead and enter it. And then what you'll do is you'll go into the ad store details. Oops, sorry, not that. Um, oh, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the ads. Oh boy. What analytics? Sorry. There we go. Okay. So go to your project and go to integration. And up at the top, just see. Yeah, you'll click basic. No. Oh, you click the little gear. There we go. And that little API key, you'll enter it right there. And then you'll just click save. Okay. Once you do that, so you can click it. I am a little curious now because I saw something. Okay. Okay. You can once you do that, you can close this. That API might only be for the Unity ads. I'm not quite sure, but by enabling your in-app purchasing, Unity ads also gets, or Unity analytics gets automatically turned on. Okay, so I'm this aside. And now we want to know how to integrate the app or the in-app purchasing. So I'm going to go into, oh, that's why. Scripts, no, okay. Yeah, just don't mind me. Um, got my scene set up interestingly. Okay, so for my particular game that I'm working on, I have this item right here set as my in-app purchase. Um, so go ahead and just set up your GUI however you would like that. And you can pause the video now and then resume after you have a button that set up that'll do stuff. Um, but if you have all of that ready, then what we'll do now is we are going to go back into the web and we're going to grab a script. And we're just going to type Unity in-app purchase 5.3. Because they actually have their own little tutorial. But the purpose of this video is so that you can visually be walked through it so that there's no confusion. Once this loads, there we go. So you can ignore all of their stuff because I've pretty much gone through it. And okay, so they have this guy right here. So you can just go ahead and copy that. Just in case that didn't work though, I'm just going to highlight the whole thing and copy it. Okay, so back into Unity, what you'll do is you find your folder where you'll have your scripts, and you can create a new script. Create C# script. I already have one made, so I'm not going to, but you should do that. Or if you already have a script. Okay, so I'm going to open up my script. I called mine purchase handler, by the way. And we'll open it. Okay. So mine already has stuff in there, but you can go ahead and paste the code you copied into here. This script should be almost empty, except for the pre-generated content, the start method, as well as the update method. And you might get an error right away depending on how you named your script. So what you'll do is the little guy up here, it'll be probably different, I believe. What did they call theirs? Yeah, they said namespace complete project. Um, you can get rid of the part that says namespace. And then if you end up erasing that, what you'll want to do next is you'll want to scroll down to the bottom and you'll want to get rid of one of these curly braces as well. Okay, and after you do that, just make sure you change the public class purchase handler. Let's see, what did they name theirs? They called theirs purchaser. So change it to whatever you named your script, and that'll get rid of your errors. And that's mainly for the viewers who aren't um, very adept at coding. Okay, so what you'll see is, and ignore the stuff that doesn't match up with yours, like over here, um, you guys will have something that looks like this, whereas I have my IDs. Speaking of which, if you've already made your products inside of the Google Play Store, and I'll show you this again. go ahead and grab your product. Let's say golden handle is mine. And we can go ahead and throw it into theirs. I have two of them because I was playing around with stuff. But if your product is something that they can purchase over and over and over again, you want to put it right here within the Google Play consumable variable. If it's a product that they can only purchase once forever and never purchase it again, you want it in the non-consumable. And if it's a subscription, of course, throw it in there. Okay. Now another thing is, what if you have more than one product, more than one consumable? Well, that's really easy. You'll need to do two things. You'll need to make a new uh, one variable of these, and B, you'll have to make a new variable of these. So I'll walk you guys through it. I have another variable here, ice pick test 01, that I'll make with you guys. So in addition to my golden handle, we will be selling an ice pick 01 test, whatever that might be. So, and it's going to be a consumable. So make a new, and we can call the variable whatever we want. But I'm going to follow their coding standard, their coding format. ID, and I'm going to say ice pick consumable equals ice pick consumable. This can be whatever you want. It's totally up to you. Now the next part we need is we actually need to make another variable that is of the ID used within the store. And following their coding format, we'll play close. And let's see, what was it? Ice pick test 01. Ice pick test. And it's very important that that matches up with that. Because otherwise the game will not be able to find it inside of the Play Store. Okay. So now that we've done that, we have a little bit more to do, and it's actually will be set up for purchasing. We'll be able to purchase this ice pick from the store. So if we scroll down to the Initialize Purchasing method, we'll want to, you can go ahead and just add a space, and this builder, we'll need to do another one of these. I'll explain how this whole script works at the end. That's how I've always done that when I've done tutorials for people that have needed programming help. It's kind of I'm figuring out, and then once I figure it out, I can explain how it works. So anyways, you'll do builder.add product, and first we need to enter how we're going to be referencing it when we want to make the purchase. And so we'll do kProduct ID ice pick consumable. The next thing is, what's the reference to the store? So, or what type of product it is. Is it a consumable or a non-consumable? So this particular one is, we'll say it's a consumable, or whatever you wanted. Again, a consumable is a product that you can buy over and over again, and a non-consumable is a product that you can only buy one time, such as unlocking the rest of the game forever and ever. then the last part is all of our IDs. And what I think is really awesome about this is that all you have to do is add this one line and you can enter all of the IDs for every single store. Really awesome. Um, Saves a bunch of hassle that other uh, plugins might have. So if you've got an Apple, that's how you would do that. But we're not doing Apple for this video. We're only doing the Google Play Store. So, and I actually haven't done Apple yet. Okay, so, oops, we need K product. I forgot what I called it. K product name. There we go. K product name. Google Play Ice Pick consumable. And then, of course, Google Play dot name. And then that's all there is. Whoops. That's all there is to that. I think I'm missing something. Ah, yeah. There we go. And that's how you would add it to the to your how you would add it to your references to be able to make the purchase later on. Uh, so now what we'll do is we'll scroll down to the bottom and we can make a method if you want to buy that product. So we'll just say public void buy ice pick or whatever you want. This can be whatever you want. It's not important. The purpose of it is so that your button can reference it. So once we do that, we'll just do buy product, and then K product ice. Ugh, there we go. Ice. Wrong one. There we go. It's as simple as that. Now we've been able to make the purchase this way, but we haven't made anything happen yet. So now we can go ahead and minimize that. That just actually talks to the store. We can ignore this. I'm pretty sure that's only for Apple stuff. More stuff. Ah, here we go. So it's a big mess. Very, very dirty. But this process purchase method, that's where we'll be able to code in what we want to happen if the purchase is successful. So, and you don't have to make this method a whole bunch of times, I don't think. Actually, now that I'm thinking about that. Ah, okay, so what we'll need to do is this little curly brace, that's right before the return. You'll have to take that all the way up to there. You can copy that. And just paste it. So just in case that was a little too fast, this little chunk right here, all that is a copy of that chunk right there. You can go ahead and rewind rewind the video to see it again if you're confused. But for those who have made it thus far, we have one more thing to do, and this little guy right here, K product ID consumable, we have to change that because that is the name of our product. It's going to do a check if the product K product ice pick. Actually, you don't even have to do that. Sorry, just Control Z. I'll probably edit that out. Um, so what you'll actually have to do is within these if else's, so this guy right here, before this else, bring it down and do another else if, I'll do string, just follow exactly like they did, equals args dot purchased product dot definition dot id, and you'll say k product ice pick consumable or whatever your product was. Your product ID, the variable. Remember that one is this guy right here. And comma string comparison dot ordinal. A little unsure what that part is. That's okay. So now that you've made that in here, this is where you'll enter the magic if the purchase is successful by your consumer or your customer, whatever. I'll just enter a debug just because. Debug.log, give the player 5 billion. I don't even think that's a billion. It might be a really big amount of points. Comma. Okay. So this, again, that's if they're successful. If it's not successful, go to on purchase failed, and you don't have to do anything if too much. You'll just what happens is this method automatically gets called, and the product gets passed. So you would match up your product. Product should be the equivalent to your K product ID, ice pick consumable, or whatever you made it. And then what you could do switch, and you could just throw product. It could be like case, K product ID, ice pick consumable, break, debug.log, the ice pick wasn't purchased, or something like that, and then you just keep making a bunch of cases for each one of the products. Oh, I believe I made an error to actually. This is gonna feed back the store ID now that I'm looking at this code. So instead of product, like I had it, you want to change that to product.definition.store specific ID, and instead of it being this guy, we'll actually want it to be this guy, I think. Pretty sure. Because it's gonna feed back. It's gonna send back the purchase product. Yeah. should send back the store ID used. I'm not 100% positive. Why are you complaining? Constant value. Pretty sure that's a constant. If I did like that, right? Yeah, that's. Oh, I know why now. Because this is a. It's just static. So, well, we're gonna improvise. We'll just do a string. Um, temp var equals that, and then we'll just do temp var. What the heck? Okay, one moment. Actually, what am I thinking? We'll just. We don't even need that. Change the ice pick test 01. There. Right. Yeah, because that's what my product was. Yours might be something. Remember, this guy is supposed to be the equivalent of whatever you had in here. Okay. And then you can just have whatever happen. Maybe a function gets called that makes a pop-up window say your purchase was incomplete. I mean, Google, they've got their own little error message if the purchase doesn't happen. But yeah, so I'm gonna erase this though because I don't need that in my project. So let's see. Okay, so we give them 5 kajillion points, and we have the product. So now we need to call our method. And mine was by ice pick. Yours might be something else, whatever you've decided to name it. It's all totally up to you. Back to our game. Oh, and of course, press the save button. And back to the game. So go find your button. Oh, before, make sure you create create an empty game object and drag your script right onto there. I already have it in here though. It's my purchase handler game object. So you'll find your button, and I've got, oh, well, doesn't matter. I'll just do it for you guys. Go ahead and drag the purchase handler onto there and expand it. Purchase handler, and then let's see, we'll find it by ice pick or whatever yours is. Okay, now I got to bring my window over here because I've got it on my other monitor. Alright, and we'll hit play. And once this code is done compiling, everything's done loading, we're just waiting. Okay, and it finally finished compiling and stuff. So just to make sure our stuff worked, ignore this first one. That's for the ads that I've got set up in my project. But this pass means everything worked and can now make the purchasing system work. So we're going to scroll over to product. That's funny. Okay, I click that, and we'll look at our debug block. Okay, so I tried making the purchase, and the purchase was successful, and 1 billion points were awarded, or whatever you might want. Maybe the rest of the game gets unlocked, or they get 500 gems, etc. And this is the message that popped up. Um, okay, that's all there is to that part. And what else do we need? I'm trying to think. Another note is if everything's set up correctly, it'll always work. It'll always pass within the Unity engine. Um, another thing to note is another thing to note was that Unity hasn't set up as of this video, but they will be soon. They haven't set up sandbox purchasing. So when you build out your app to the store, here, and I'll play it. To build out your app, if you're not familiar with this process, you go to File, Build Settings, and you'll select Android. Mine's already selected, but yours might not be. You'll click, where is it? Ah, you click Switch Platform, but, there we go. Wasn't highlighted. And then it'll convert all your assets ready for Android. Just make sure it's just like that. And you want to go to Player Settings. And if you've got a picture that you want, your company name, your product name, you might see this at first. So configure those settings. An icon if you want a different picture depending on the size of their tablet, which is kind of cool. A splash if you've got Unity Pro. I don't. And then you've got your other settings. So you can pretty much ignore that stuff. But this you'll definitely need to set up. It'll be something else by default. Typically it goes to company name, product, and your version. You can leave this at whatever. I'm not quite sure where this gets, where they can read it. Like if they go to, maybe if they go to the app on their tablet and click property settings on it, maybe it'll be displayed there. Because Google Play actually asks you what the version it is. But every time you upload a new a new APK, you have to change this guy, which was interesting. API level, typically that's as low as possible, typically, so that you're not using too many things, is what my interpretation was. I'm not an expert on Android stuff quite yet, but that's that. Oh, and then publishing settings. What you'll need to do is you'll need to click Create New Key Store, and then you'll make your password. You'll confirm your password. Um, and okay, and thought maybe there was a Create Key Store button somewhere. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember. But you'll have to do that too if you want to upload your project. And then just click Build, of course, and it'll ask you where to save it. You'll want to make sure too that that your SDK, your Android SDK, your Java development kit, and the NDK stuff is all set up as well. And I think the last thing that I can show you guys is, I guess I can just explain all of this real fast. Again, in case something was confusing. But this pretty much is, as the comments say, you can ignore that. This stuff right here is the reference that our methods will use in order to call upon our products. And you can make more of these if you want, but this set of variables here, though, is where your ID for the product within the store that you made, say that it would hold that ice pick test. Or if you're doing the Windows store, I haven't done Windows or Apple yet, otherwise I'd show you guys that as well, but alas, I haven't. Um, so in here, the start of the scene, it calls the initialize purchasing method, which initialize purchase. Um, if it's already done, then it's not going to worry. In case you already did it in another scene, because Unity only needs to do it once. I'm sure every other app ever only has to do it once ever. But just in case you have in-app purchasing in multiple scenes. Uh, so then what happens is it creates this variable, and this variable is going to hold all of our products. And you can add a new product, builder.add product, and our reference to that specific item, and then all what type it is, and then all of the IDs. For each ID, you have to give it a type. Your Apple ID, Apple Store. Google Play ID, that icepick test 01, Google Play. And then after it gets through all of that, then it says, all right, now purchasing, we're going to send this up to wherever. And then purchasing is done, and you can forever use purchasing within any scene. Um, you can ignore that. That was from me. And just some other stuff that you can ignore, but these were the methods that if you want to buy your product, you'll just call your buy product or your buy whatever you called it, and then make sure buy product ID and then your reference, which again, that would be these guys, because those are the references you're going to be using with encoding. You can name them whatever you want, but these guys, you cannot name them whatever you want. They have to match whatever you named it in the store. Um, oh, and if you're still watching and you already understand everything, you can stop it. I'm just doing a quick rehash, just in case I missed anything. Uh, Buy product ID, I collapsed that, but this is what does a lot of the magic. It talks to the store. It initializes the purchase. And from there, it goes to, I think here, goes to one of these. This guy was just for Apple, but the purpose of this is if you move from one tablet to another and your player downloads the game on their new tablet and they want to get the purchases that they've made, they have to be non-consumables, by the way. Then they can get all that stuff that they bought back. If you were to do that with the Google, from my understanding, you might have to use some sort of cloud database. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. I haven't touched it yet. I haven't encountered a need to do that. I might have to at some point though. We'll see. I'll get back to you guys. You can ignore that, or this is what happens when it doesn't happen. Say they don't have an internet connection. I think. I think that would be one. I'm not more stuff I'm unsure of. And then this purchase processing result, that's where the magic happens to check if it was successful or if it failed. And then of course, if it gets through it all, then it returns complete, and then you could run some stuff that saves data to the player preps so that they don't lose their thing that they purchased just in case your app crashes. And then of course, purchase failed. All right, I believe that is it. And Thank you for enjoying. Subscribe or like. There will be more videos to come.